What up, guys? Coach Vassar here, Audio Daily Beats. We're going to go over Thursday, September 12th. This will also repeat on Friday, September 27th. This is going to be an ESP workout, 30-30. As always, any feedback, please let me know. Shoot me a DM. You could comment on these as well on YouTube. And if you appreciate this, you find value in this, information below to support me, completely optional. Don't support me until you find value in them. We'll do a little overview, any discrepancies that we'll see in the 3G, and get you on out of here. So we got an ESP day for this Thursday. We're gonna see 3 blocks on the treads with 3 different focuses: endurance, strength, power. We're gonna see 2 power builds, 2 hills, and 3, and in block 3, we're gonna see 2 power builds, which is a lie because it's actually 3 power builds. So that's a misprint on the daily beat. On the rower, we're gonna work on row and endurance. So you'll only see that on block 1. There's no more rowing after that. And then on the floor, 3 blocks: lower body endurance, upper body strength, and total body power. So as we look at the treads, block 1, endurance, 7 minutes and 30 seconds, 90-second walk recovery. Block 2, 6.5 minutes, 90 recovery. And then in block 3, it's another 6.5 minutes. Block 1, we're gonna see 2 different builds. And the intention here is to increase intensity each work and effort in build 1, and then maintain that in build 2. So as we look at this, they're gonna start at base for 75 seconds, and then it's 1 minute, 45, and 30 seconds of a base push, push, push all out. Me personally, coaching these builds, rather than giving specific parameters, I like the idea of incremental additions. So I usually tell power walkers, can you add, between 1 to 3% to their incline, or possibly increase their speed, 0.1 as well. Joggers and runners, 0.3 to 0.6 or more added on to the speed. If you look at the template, of course, they give ranges. So like base 1 to 3% for the power walkers, their base push anywhere from 1 to 6%, push 8% or greater, push all out 8 to 10%. It's a lot to kind of forecast over the mic, but finding that if people add 1 to 3%, add 0.3 to 0.6, and then when you take them to that next interval, just be like, treads, can you add the same amount in 3, 2, 1? Treads, add it. And rather than tell them like, hey, you're in a 45-second push, just let them know like this part should feel uncomfortable. This part should feel borderline very uncomfortable. Once they finish that push all out, they'll take it back to base for 75. They'll repeat that build, but after the push all out, they'll actually hit their first true all out of the block for just 30 seconds. Bikes and striders, you could probably just nice and simple, start at base push, go up 1 to 2 gears. When they hit that push, hopefully add another 1 to 2, and then push all out, add another 1 to 2 as they maintain RPMs. When we look at the second block, we're gonna see 2 hills. They're gonna be 3 minutes a piece essentially, but really it's 1 minute of flat road, 2 minutes of hill for the block. So the first build, they're gonna start at base, and they're gonna see a base climb at 3% and then a base climb at 6%. Power walkers, they're gonna see 5% or greater and then 8% or greater. They're gonna repeat that, and the goal is to maintain base speed on that second hill. Once they get to the top of that 6% incline, they'll have a 30-second all out. This is one where, bikes and striders, they could start at 1 minute base and then essentially use like a 90-second-ish push effort gear. So somewhere between 4, give or take, over base. And then finally, the third block, nice and simple. It's another build, but it's obviously emphasis on power. They're gonna start at a push and then finish at an all out. So 45, push, push all out, 1 minute walk recovery. Build 2 is everything at 30 seconds. And then the third build are 15-second increments. And the goal here is to increase intensity each build. So thinking about that same intensity of jump ups, wherever they start at their push in build 1, if they added 0.3 every time, on the next build, could they add 0.4 every time? On the next build, could they add 0.5 every time? That's a good way to kind of help increase the intensity. Or obviously, hey, whatever you did last time, can you do more? However you want to phrase it. Bikes and striders, they'll probably keep it, 3 to 4 gears for the first 90 seconds, and then when they hit the all out, take it 6 gears over base for that first build. Second and third build, kind of similar idea, or you could have them increase every interval too. In the daily beat for the second block, they do say that for the bikes and striders, they could add gear on each minute, or like I said, you could keep them kind of consistent. When we look at the floor, we're going to see 3 blocks here. Everything, of course, timed up with the treads. Block 1 is going to be work and rest, and the goal is to maintain push intensity on the row. They start with a 500-meter push row, and then they have the single arm step out squat for 8 reps each side. They rest and they repeat. For this one, definitely for the first group, get them off the rower, pull them over to the weight floor so they could grab a weight, bring it back. That way it's going to allow quicker transitions. That push row, 500 meters, probably going to be around 2 minutes. A little bit less, maybe a little bit more. 16 squats will probably take most people about 45 seconds to a minute. And then obviously transition time, catching their breath. So realistically, most people should get at least 2 rounds. You might get, some people get 3 rounds. Very unlikely in 7.5 minutes unless they're not taking that recovery or they're going a little too light on the weight. With this being endurance, 8 reps, I would suggest people to do either moderate or a conservative weight for that one. Moving on to the second block, this is going to be still work and rest, but now upper body. We're going to have floor chest press and the half kneel and single arm low row. Partial demo for the chest press, full demo for the half kneel and single arm low row. You could do strap chest press. You could also do a single arm low row on the strap as options. And we're using the rep range to lift heavy because it's anywhere from 6 to 10. And as always with strength days, if they're able to do 10, no problem, either slow it down or go heavier. I like to joke with members of telling them, hey, grab the shiny handle dumbbells. If it's not shiny, pick again. When we look at the third block, now it's gonna be full body. We're gonna see some body weight stuff and some dumbbell stuff. And the movements kind of blend together. So you have the alternating 90-degree pop squat, anywhere from 4 to 8 reps. Rest, the dumbbell clean, and the neutral grip push press. And of course, everything is 4 to 8 reps. No specific finisher other than increase intensity for the final 15 seconds. Full demo everything. And with the power focus of these 3 movements, we want to be explosive, of course. If they start to slow down, have that off mic conversation with that member. Be like, you did 6 reps, great. That 7th one was a little bit slower. Let's just cap it at 6. Match that intensity the next round. If they are flying through with the weight, they're hitting 8 reps, no problem. Definitely going up. With the clean, of course, use those legs to pop the weight up. So I tell people it's more of a hinge than a squat. I know the dumbbell clean video, they have the female doing more of a squat. That's also the option, squat to bicep curl, but me personally, I tell people to do deadlifts to bicep curl. That's just my personal opinion on that with my background of fitness and how I learned to do cleans and whatnot. That's the 2G. When we look at the 3G, we're gonna have some fun with this one. 3 blocks, just like before. Block 1 is gonna be 5 minutes of 1 build. Block 2 is gonna be 3.5 minutes with 2 hills. And then block 3, just over 3 minutes, and it is just 2 builds here. So block 1, they're gonna do 1-minute intervals on the treads, start at base, every minute, increase until they finish with a 1 minute all out. So base, push, push, all out, all out. Same idea as before, add something for that base push. Can they repeat that add as they go throughout? Block 2, the hills will now be 30 seconds at each incline. They'll start flat road for 30, and then base at 3% for 30, base at 6% for 30, and then repeat it again before they hit a flat road all out. And then the third block, they're gonna see the second and third build from block 3 on the 2G. So 30-second push all out, 1 minute walk recovery, and then 15, 15, 15. 75-second transition walk recoveries between blocks 1 and 2, and of course you get the nice old 3-minute transition to rotate the row. For the rowers, block 1 has an endurance goal of distance, so they are going to complete a total of 20 reps of the 1, 2, 3 knee drive combo, one time and one time only. Whatever time is remaining, they will row for distance with the goal of getting anywhere from 700 to 1200 meters. If they start when the treads start, that 1, 2, 3 knee drive combo will take most people around a minute to do. So they'll get, after taking a seat, getting set up, getting logged back into that OT Connect, they'll probably have about 3.5 minutes or so to row their distance. So hitting, most people should get about 250-ish. So around 700 is very doable. 1200 is going to be very aggressive. Of course, the faster they do the 1, 2, 3s, the quicker they're done, the more time they have to row. Block 2, strength block, they're going to count their strokes here. 200 meters, stored program, count, remember strokes, rest, repeat, and either match or do it in fewer strokes. So we definitely want to see lower stroke rate here. Leg drive is going to be a nice solid, 6 or 7 out of 10, but that tempo on that return is going to be very important to allow the water to do the work for them. Where they might get to their, they do a stroke and there's only 8 meters left. Rather than them go into that next stroke, they might just let the water go and they just coast until it hits 0. That's a good thing. So with 200 meters, OTF usually says like, hey, get about 10 meters per stroke. So you're looking 20 meters or less. But, basing it off of what I've seen with my members, usually somewhere between 14 to 17 is what most people could do 200 meters in with a strength-based emphasis. This is a push row though, so can we get uncomfortable with the leg drive more so than the momentum? Third block, this is gonna be timed with the treads. So they'll do a power build, start with a push row, and then crank it up to an all-out with 30-second increments, and then 1 minute recovery row, and then the 15, 15, 15. When we look at the floor, we're gonna see 2 rounds of each part. So endurance, strength, power. Endurance is just one movement with the step out squat. You'll do 10 reps on each leg, rest, and then do it again. Part 2, work and rest for upper body. Same idea. This is the second block from the 2G, except for it's just 8 reps of the floor press and the single arm low row. We'll do 2 rounds, rest after each movement. And then the third block, it's just 2 exercises here. They're gonna see the pop squat and the dumbbell clean, 6 reps each, complete 2 rounds. Once they finish that, they'll do everything as one big block. So step out squat each side, rest, floor press, single arm low row, pop squat, clean, rinse and repeat. No true finisher, just like the tread, so just increase intensity for the final 15. This one's gonna be a doozy of a day if members do it right and you coach it and give them the information that they need to be successful, especially with the hills. And yet people coming in from the day before, a lot of posterior chain work between the hills on Wednesday and some extra incline, some lower body work on this day too. So if you can, coach with empathy for the people who come back to back on many days in a row, and use that OTB to your advantage. If people are struggling, allow them to have those green days, have that off mic conversation with them, to go off of feeling more so than the heart rate response if needed. That's it. You guys have any questions, any feedback, let me know. Thank you as always. If you want to support me, once again, information is in the description. That's it. Coach it down, y'all.